Hey guys, and welcome back to another Take Action Daily video where I share just a quick tip, a quick idea for you to think about and take action on in your design business so you can find more clients and grow your business. And this week we're focusing on Instagram because, as I've mentioned in the other videos, basically I think Instagram is a fantastic platform if you really only want to focus on one thing to get started with a design business. It's obviously very visual. It's a great place to share, before and after images, inspiration images, and a whole bunch of stuff related to the design industry, which is super, super helpful. And it's also extremely likely that your ideal client is going to be hanging out on Instagram on a regular basis. So you always want to be thinking, where are my clients hanging out, my potential clients hanging out, and make sure that you go there. There is no point spending time on marketing activities in places where your ideal clients are not hanging out. That is a complete waste of time, a complete waste of money, and don't bother spending your time on that. So definitely Instagram is worth focusing on, it's worth spending time on, and it's worth mastering. So that is what we're talking about this week. And today what I want to do is talk to you about mistakes that I see designers making on Instagram all the time. So I thought I would share what I thought those were. A little bit of tough love, but have a think about whether you are making any of these mistakes and whether you can rectify those mistakes and sort of start to do something a little bit different. So let's go through them. I've got four particular mistakes that I wanted to just share with you that I see over and over again when I am looking around on Instagram. I also have heaps of students who start to follow me on my Instagram account. So I like to follow people back if I notice that they're a student. So I do see people making these mistakes all the time, especially when they're first getting started on the platform. Mistake number one. You tell a different story every time you post on Instagram. So this is a big one. What you want to be doing in your Instagram account is actually being super clear within a couple of seconds about who you help and what kind of work that you do. If you have a post about, you post an industrial kitchen in one post and then a Hamptons inspired swimming pool in another post, and then, some other completely different style in another post, and you do that over and over and over again, someone is going to come to your feed. You've got about 5 seconds for them to decide whether they're going to follow you, whether they're going to stick around and take a little look at your profile. And if you are telling a completely different story in every post and your images are poor quality and not edited in the same way, you are going to have a lot of trouble in trying to attract your ideal client, because you are not telling a story of who you are, what type of style of design you offer, and all of that sort of thing. So don't just put together a completely eclectic sort of feed that is completely random and not thought out. You want to be really telling the same story over and over and over again. So you want to be having the similar style images, the similar style, what sort of design work do you do? Do you want to do? If you are not working with clients yet, what sort of images are you posting in terms of the type of style that you will do with clients when you start working with them? That's really, really important so that they can immediately see and relate to whether or not they are a good fit for your thing. And not everyone will be, but that's fine. But you have to be able to sort of show them that, and that's really important. You've got to tell the same story in different ways, but the same sort of story in each post. So hopefully that makes sense. Number two, you are not consistent on the platform. A lot of people come to me and they give it a good go of, posting once a day for a couple of weeks, and they're like, my account's not growing. And then I'll have a look and I'll be like, but you haven't posted for 4 days. You have to teach the algorithm on Instagram about the fact that you are a reliable Instagram user, because that is how they are going to reward you, by showing you to more and more people on their platform. They want people who are using their platform regularly. They are a business themselves at the end of the day. So think about what they are after. They are after eyeballs on their platform so that they can sell marketing, so that they can make money. So that is what they're after. If you are not being a reliable user on Instagram and posting regularly and posting consistently, they aren't going to, or their algorithm is not going to identify you as someone who is sort of safe and trustworthy to share with a wider audience. So make sure that you are posting really consistently, ideally when you're getting started. And I know many of you will freak out about this, but you want to be, when you're starting out, posting 2 or 3 times a day. I know people go the problem with that, I'm scared I'm going to be seen like over and over in people's feeds. First of all, that's not a bad thing because you always want to be top of mind with people. But second of all, you are not going to end up like that because the algorithm doesn't work like that. It's never going to show your posts over and over to someone unless they're really engaged with your account, which is great because then they're one of your sort of true followers and true sort of audience members and community members. And then they'll want to see all your content. But otherwise, they are not going to be seeing every single post that you put up. So you never have to be worried about that. But the biggest thing, you have to be consistent and you have to be posting regularly. So two or three posts a day is what I want from you. If you can't do that, then do one post a day, but really do one post a day, not one post and then 2 days later do another post. It's got to be consistent and regular and on a rhythm that you can maintain. If you do that for a month, Instagram will start to pick up that you are a reliable person for the platform and they will start to reward you based on that. So be consistent on the platform. Another mistake I see, people are posting when their audience is not online. So basically the way that the algorithm works is that they're going to show the most recent posts from the people whose accounts that people are engaging with first in their feed. So if you are posting when your audience is not online, by the time they come back online, then you will have sort of, your post will have disappeared down the feed and they're unlikely to see it. So make sure that you know when your audience is online. You need a business account for that. You need to go into insights and that will be able to be where you're going to find that information out. Otherwise, in Later, which is a platform I shared yesterday in one of these tips, you can find the posting times in Later when your audience is most likely to be online, and definitely make sure you schedule and plan your posting for when your audience is going to be online. That will give you the best chance for success of your post being seen by your audience. And then number 4 is a big one. And that is that I just see too many people not being authentic on Instagram. I see so much, and I'm very sorry to say this, but so much try hard stuff about, random, things to do with design or whatever it might be. And I think that it's really a case of trying to appeal to other designers and make yourself look good in front of other designers rather than thinking, what does my ideal client want? What kind of way do they want to be spoken to? What is going to attract that ideal client to me? And I guarantee that in almost every instance, most clients are not going to be attracted to someone who sounds like a know-all and someone who's talking in levels that are way above where their knowledge level is, where their interest level is, and all of that sort of stuff. So if you are speaking all the way up here about super, super high-end, fancy stuff to do with the design industry and new products you've found and stuff that's happened at the Milan Design Fair and stuff, that's great. But just remember that if you are trying to pitch your work to parents or people who have, family homes, that's probably not what they're interested in. So have a think about what you are posting about. And when you are posting in your captions, write the way that you would speak to a client. That is why it's so important to understand who your ideal client is, because you want to pitch the way that you speak to them in the way that you would talk to them if you were meeting them in real life. So always think about, say your ideal client is Sally and she's a mum and she, works full time and has a family and 3 kids and they want to renovate their family home. I'm just using this as an example. That's really who my sort of ideal client was back when I was working as a designer. I always would think, what would Sally want to know? What is she having troubles with? How would she want to be spoken to? And I guarantee Sally isn't too interested in what's going on at the Milan Design Fair. So have a think about what's going on in your ideal client's mind and what they're interested in, and make sure you're really pitching your account to that person. Have a different account if you want to have something sort of highbrow and talking to the design industry. That's a completely different thing. That is not the way that you're going to sell and find clients on Instagram. That's a completely different type of account. So I just want you to be thinking about being authentic and talking on Instagram and in your captions in a way that will attract the right people and the people that you're trying to attract, most importantly. I see too much just stuff that I almost cringe at some of the stuff that I see. So not always, but just something. And as I said, it's a little bit of tough love and it's the way that I look at it. You can feel free to disagree with me. That's absolutely fine. But that is my opinion. And also just a really important mind shift in terms of thinking about Instagram as a business tool, not as a just a sort of showing off tool, if you like. So keep in mind what the purpose of the whole thing is. So that's some mistakes, 4 mistakes that I see on Instagram with designers that I sort of interact with on the platform. I hope that's helpful, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.